Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I got another episode of Field Tests. This is a video series where down below in the comments section you guys let me know what loadout you would like me to try out in a future episode, so what weapon and all of their attachments, and then I pick from one of the top rated comments and put one of them through its paces. And for today, I'm going to be trying out the SKS with the Kobra sight and heavy barrel attachment, and I know a fair amount of people out there like this weapon, but I don't see it used that often on the battlefield. I normally just see the bolt-action rifles or maybe the M417. I know the M417 is very popular, but I have to say that the SKS has become maybe possibly my favorite semi-automatic rifle for the recon class. The first time I joined a game, I got 16 kills right off the bat. 16 kills, no deaths, and that kind of continued throughout the entire round, and that's what you guys are going to see here. It was just a team deathmatch, but it was absolutely crazy. So I'm going to go into more detail as to why I like it so much and why you might want to pick it over the other semi-automatic rifles, but right off the bat, loving the weapon so far. So this gun has one of the more unique damage models for all of the recon weapons in Battlefield 3. It's going to do 43 damage a shot up close, and then that's going to drop off to 27 damage a shot at long range, or around 60 meters. And essentially what this means for you, the player, is that you're never going to be able to get a one-shot kill for a headshot, no matter the distance. And that's not the case for any of the other bolt-action or semi-automatic rifles for the recon. Any other weapon out there, it has a one-shot killing potential, but that's not the case for the SKS. And you might be thinking to yourself, well then why would I want to use this weapon if the damage model is so much weaker than anything else out there? And you would be right, but I have to say that the SKS makes up for it in spades with a lot of the other attributes. And one of these is its rounds per minute. It has the fastest RPM out of all the recon weapons, clocking in at 333, which is by no means blazing fast. It's not even as fast as the G3A3, which is the slowest assault rifle in the game. But still, as long as you have a decently quick trigger finger, you're going to be able to get plenty of rounds downrange with absolutely no problem. But probably one of the nicest aspects of this weapon would have to be its recoil. It's got a fair amount of horizontal. It's got a 0.3 off to the left and a 0.4 off to the right. So if you get into extensive firefights, you're going to have to manage that a little bit. But easily the nicest aspect of this weapon is its vertical recoil. It's only got a vertical of 0.55, and when you compare that to the very popular M417, it's half of that. The M417 has a vertical of 1.15, and that's a huge difference, and one of the main reasons why I don't like the M417 as much, considering that I have to take a lot longer in between my shots because I have to basically wait for the recoil to drop a little bit so I can take my next shot. But that's not the case with the SKS. You can take full advantage of its higher RPM because you're not having to compensate as much for the vertical recoil, and it's just a lot easier to stay on target. And really one of the things I thought this weapon would suffer from is because it does have a lower damage model. I just didn't think it was going to perform as well, but that's just simply not the case because it's so accurate because of the recoil and the fact that you can really take advantage of the RPM. You take three to four quick shots at your target depending on the distance, and they're going to drop pretty much immediately, and then you can move on to your next target. And really this moves on to my next point, and one of the main reasons why I like the weapon is that it has 21 rounds in your magazine, and you can take full advantage of those 21 rounds. Because this weapon is so accurate and you're not going to have to compensate much for the recoil, taking out 3, 4, 5 targets before you have to reload isn't that difficult with this weapon, and you can't really say that for a lot of the other guns out there, even with a couple of the other semi-automatic rifles for the recon class, especially for the assault classes. You definitely cannot take 5 targets out with one magazine with the G3A3 or the M16A3. But the SKS, because it is so accurate, and as long as you are a good shot, you can take out 4 targets without a problem, and I even kind of proved that in today's video. Another great aspect of this gun is that it has a fairly fast reload time. If you have a bullet in the chamber, it's only going to take you 2.2 seconds to reload, but if you've gone through your entire magazine, it's going to take you 3.4 seconds. I didn't find I was going through the long animation all that often, considering that you do have 21 rounds in your magazine. This is a semi-automatic rifle, so you're really going to have to pick and choose when you actually do fire, and this isn't a FAMAS, so you're not going to go through your entire magazine in like half a second. So So I didn't find that I had to go through the long animation all that often. 3.4 seconds is a substantial amount of time, but 2.2 is, you know, it's not as fast as the M16A3, but it's still pretty fast for a recon weapon. So that is definitely a nice aspect of the SKS. As for your attachment recommendations, I thought that they suited this weapon perfectly. You know, I love the Kobra sight. You guys should probably know this by now. I think it's fantastic. It gives you a lot of field of view. And as for the heavy barrel, it's going to increase your long range accuracy, make you more effective at medium range engagements. And overall, I think it just makes this weapon even more potent, especially because the heavy barrel, it does increase your vertical recoil a little bit. Because this weapon does have a lot less than the other recon weapons out there, I think it suits it just perfectly. But overall, if you can't tell already, I absolutely love the SKS. Its killing potential is just amazing. It's high RPM, it's very manageable recoil, and even though it does have a lower damage model than the other weapons, it's still fantastic, and I had no problem taking out targets at any distance. It is a amazing weapon, and if you haven't tried it out already, or you were kind of hesitant because it does have a lower damage model, forget the damage model. It does not affect the weapon at all, and you are going to have a lot of fun with it. But that's it for today's field test, guys. If you would like me to try out your own loadout, let me know in the comment section below, and make sure to thumbs up the ones you guys would like me to try next. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, or just want to support my channel, I always appreciate it when you give my videos a rating, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, have a good one, and take it easy.